Hello. So this video is a follow-up to the last one, where we are actually going to use what the user typed in and use it to make some decisions. So now that we have our prompt here and we did our formatting to make our menu almost look a little bit nicer, then what do we do with that prompt variable that we have with whatever it is that they typed in? All right, so there's lots of different things the user could have typed in. So we want to know if they said name, that then it would respond with its name. Now, it already said that, but it could answer it again. Or if the user typed in age, then it could give what its age is. Same thing with GPA, favorite color, and anything else that we define in there. So at that point, the computer has to make a decision. What should it do based on what the user said? So anytime you have the computer making a decision, then you're going to use an if statement. So if some kind of a condition is met, then it will respond in a certain way. Right, so the way we do that if statement is we say if, notice lowercase, then parentheses is where we're going to put the condition, and then curly braces here. And whatever we put inside the curly braces, that's going to be the response that the computer gives based on whether this condition is true or false. So we are going to write a condition in here. Now, at first, this won't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to just give an example. All right, so if 3 is greater than 2. Right, so what you put inside of the parenthesis here is some kind of a logical statement. It's testing to see if it's true or false. So when we typed it in here, the computer is going to figure out, is 3 greater than 2? And of course it is. So this is going to evaluate to true. In the event that this statement evaluates to true, which 3 greater than 2 is true, then whatever is in these curly braces will happen. All right, so if I just said system.out.println, and I just said yes or whatever, because we're testing here. All right, can I get it to say yes? All right, and when I'm doing this testing here, I'm gonna actually do it this way. I'm not gonna turn on the interactive feature, and I'm going to just type out my inputs here. John, and then, whatever I said. If you're just doing through the regular console here, then you type it in as it's prompting you. But this just lets it run a little bit faster. So I'm going to execute. All right, and then you see I did get it to say yes, because is 3 greater than 2? It is. And now what if I did a different statement? If 1 is greater than 2, which it's not, this is going to evaluate to false. So this line isn't going to happen here. It didn't say the word yes in the console because this was not true. But typically you put some kind of a variable in there because the computer is supposed to make a decision based on what's happening within the program. Right, so I will take that phrase prompt there. And when we're working with strings, we want to compare whether the actual letters in that statement are the same as what we're looking for. So it's a little bit different than if we were working with numbers. So we say prompt, because that's the name of the variable of what the user had typed in, dot equals, and we actually spell out the word equals. That's a method that strings have to check to see if the letters in them are the same. And then I will say quotes age. All right, so if this statement turns into true, if prompt using that equals method determines that it does have the same letters as the word age with a capital A, then this will trip here. All right, so use the interactive feature. There's my name. done. What do you want to know about me? You see it's waiting for my answer. All right, so it did print the word yes, right, because my prompt did equal age. Now if I run it again, try something a bit different. Right, then the program concludes it didn't say yes, it didn't do it here. Because when I typed in the prompt as pets, well, pets isn't the same as the word age. So it didn't run this. It kind of jumped to that ending curly brace here, and it was trying to move on with the rest of the program, but there was nothing left in the program, so it was over. So to take out kind of what we wrote here, to actually make this do what we want it to do, we could say something like I am blank plus the variable age plus quotes space days old. Right? I guess our chatbot is going to measure its age in days. All right, so again, I use these plus symbols to concatenate the different parts together. The I am, then using the variable age, and then days old. Right, so then it told us I am 5 days old. And where to get the 5 from? Because that's the value of the age variable. Now, if I did type in age without an uppercase A, then that wouldn't be the same thing. This would actually trip as false. So to be a little bit more careful, instead of using the equals method, I can use the equals ignore case method. Right, so again, this is written using camel case capitalization. So the equals is still lowercase. But then now that I added on a couple more words to this phrase here, ignore case, then it's the capital I and the capital C is what the name of that method is, following the convention of doing camel case. And so now that I've made that change, even if I typed it lowercase a, and it would still recognize that I typed the same letters. All right, so that is the basic way to make a decision or have the program make a decision based on what the user typed in.